Hi everybody, welcome back to another video on Plannerzoid. In today's video, I wanted to do a quick demo tutorial of the frame punch board. If you haven't seen any of my recent uploads where I show my punch collection and stuff related to punches, definitely check out those videos. I will link it at the end of this video. The reason why I wanted to do this video was solely because, number one, there's not a lot of recent craft tutorials out there with the punches. So I'm like, why not do, updated, I guess. And then the other reason is I'm actually preparing to do a big tutorial video showing you guys how to make a shaker page for your planner. And this is actually part of the steps to make that page. So with that being said, I thought it would be great to just do a separate tutorial video on how to use the frame punch board so that when I do release my tutorial video, then you guys will already have an idea or you'll have something to reference back and refer to. And really quick, I can show you the page that I'm talking about. So this is the page that I try to create every month in my planner. I wanted to show you guys a tutorial video because people have asked, how did I create this? So I'm going to show you how to create this part of the page using the frame punch board. So the materials you're going to need is, of course, the frame punch board. It is by We Are Memory Keepers. I believe the price range was in the 20s. I can't fully remember, but it was like in the 20s. So it's not super expensive to purchase. And I did purchase it at Michael's. So I also got it on sale. You can get it at probably any of your craft stores. If not, you can always get it on like Amazon or something. And then the other material you'll need is paper, of course. So really quickly, before I show you how to do it, I want to show you around the punch board here. So here we have the frame punch board. It is divided into, I guess, like 3 sections, if you want to say that. So over here is where you would create your frame. You would punch each corner and there you go. It's the corners of your frame. And when you finish punching your corners, you will simply come over here to cut the middle out so that you have the opening in the middle of your frame to put stuff in the middle. The reason why I say it's 3 parts is because over here is where you create, the corners of your frame. Over here is where you have to measure which part to cut, and over here is where you cut. So it does come with a blade, which goes in this little compartment when you're ready to put it away. And over here, it comes with 4 different measurements as well as a corner rounder. So I'm going to bring it up close so you can see it up closer. Right here is some numbers. You got 0.1, 0.75, 0.5, and 0.25. That's just the corners of your frame, like how you want to measure it depending on the sizing of your paper or how, I don't know, far in you want to put the frame in, if that makes any sense. You'll see soon. And then these 2 holes, well, 4 holes, are to make a corner rounder. So it does come with a corner rounder if you want to round the corners of your frame. And then on this side, it is the same measurement numbers that you would use to reference for this side to cut and match. And that's how you cut out your frame. And then you would use this blade here to cut. And this does lift up so that you can place your paper under it and you can follow this guideline with your blade. So that's the parts of the frame punch board. So first I'm going to start with this one so that we can replicate this. So what I plan to do is to simply punch each corner out, and I will be punching out at 0.25. So all you would do is place the corners of your paper, whatever desired measurement your paper is. Obviously you will have to cut that separately. You will just place it in here and you will simply just punch. So when you punch it, this is how it looks. I hope you guys can see that. So we're going to go ahead and do that on all 4 corners. So now that we punched all 4 corners, your frame should look something like this. Towards the end of this video, after this, I will show you how to punch other kinds of frames. But for now, because we are replicating this one, this is how it should look. So now that we have our corners punched out, we are going to move to this side of the frame punch board, and we're going to cut along the, I don't know what to call these, I guess the edges of the frame corners, and then the middle will come out. So I use 0.25 to create this. You should match the same number on this side in order to get the look you're going for. So it is already there, but I do want to show you this. This can come out and you will simply just pick a row. Since I'm doing 0.25, I'm going to do the lowest row. I'm going to go ahead and lift up, and I'm going to place my paper there. So one way to know if your paper is in there, at least this works for me, you can't really see it well, but once you do it, you'll kind of see it. This little line right here is the reference line for the blade, so it can cut straight. A lot of times when I do put my paper there, I can see a little bit of it, so that lets me know that, okay, is correct. I don't know how, but it just works for me. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and close this now, and I'm going to take out my blade. And what I like to do is hold it down while I'm cutting. Oh, really quickly, let me show you this. So this part right here is where this circular part of the blade is going to go. It's going to look like that. Let me show sideways. I just wanted to show you guys that. I almost forgot. So now you're going to go ahead and place your paper. Make sure it is lined up completely straight. The one way I know is that I'll just simply put it against this guide right here. And if it's pressing against this guide, then it's finished. Now you're going to go ahead and take the circular portion and you're going to put it within the guide right here so that your blade can cut straight and smoothly. And you're going to cut. And then you will know when you're finished cutting, because you can feel when you're cutting through paper versus when you're not cutting through paper. So you will feel the cut feel lighter, if that makes sense. So that's how I know when I'm finished with the cut. So I'm going to go ahead and do this on all four sides, and I'm just going to turn the corner, and I got to make sure that I line it up in the frame corner. So it's going to cut from here to here. Do not start all the way from the beginning. If you do, you will cut through your entire frame. Start from the opening of where you punched your frame corner and cut to the other side. So now that I cut all four sides, I'm going to make sure I put my blade back where it goes so that I don't cut myself or lose it. It goes back in here, and once you press it in, it stays in. I'm going to go ahead and lift the guide up, and I'm going to take the frame out. So now I have my frame cut out, and it should look like this. So then when I create my shaker, it's going to go on like that. So I am finished with this frame, and this is pretty much a tutorial, but I do want to show you how to create another kind of frame so that you don't think all the frames look like this. So anytime you do cut the frame out, you always get this middle piece. And honestly, I just like to use it when I'm making cards and use it in other projects. So you do not have to waste this paper. It can definitely be used for other things. I like to simply use it for embellishment in cards. The other kind of frame I want to show you is something similar to this. It will not look exactly like this, but I wanted to show you that you can cut a frame that has a thicker bottom, because typically that is what most photo frames look like when people do card making and paper crafts. So I wanted to show you how to do that. So what I'm going to do is first start with 0.25. I will do 2 of the corners like that. So it should look like this. So 2 other corners are punched. This is where the playing around and trying to figure out comes in. Depending on the size of your frame that you want to go for, that's the number you would choose. So 0.25 will make me cut at the edge, correct? But if I don't want to cut at the edge, I will move the one that is on the bottom here, because the one here should stay this way so that your frame stays lined up, if that makes any sense. So the one pointing towards the bottom should be the one that is moved. So however you move it depends on how high you want your frame to be. So I think I'm gonna do, this is kind of a big piece of paper, so let's just move it all the way up to 1. When you are doing that, make sure when you punch one side to flip the paper over so that you can punch the other side. So now it should look something like this. So as you can see, the bottom is a little thicker. I could have moved it in further, but this is the way I want to do it, simply because I will be putting a bunch of pictures and kind of making a collage. So I want the inside to be big, but this is how it should look. I did 0.25 up here, so I need to bring this back down to 0.25 so that I can cut it properly. And hopefully all of this makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, please let me know down below so I can try to answer any questions. I'm trying to be as clear as possible. I don't really do a lot of tutorial videos, so I'm learning. Okay, so I cut the top part of my frame. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn it and cut the sides of my frame. And once again, how I know, and you might not be able to see this, but how I know is this guideline right here for the blade. When I put my paper on it, if I could see a little bit under it, that means I'm correct. For instance, if I move this up too high and it's here, it's too high, it's wrong. You should only see just a little bit of it or not see it at all. So I'm going to put it back on 0.25, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the sides. And so far, it should look like this. I'm going to cut the bottom. It is going to be different because I changed the measurement. So I did not do 0.25 at the bottom. Remember, I went all the way up to 1. So that means I need to do the same here. Remember, when you cut it, your measurement should be the same as what you implanted over here. It should match over here. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. I'll move this out the way so you can see. So now, as you can see, it's a different kind of frame. Like this one, it was even on all sides. This one is not, it is larger at the bottom. And that is because I changed the measurement on this side. So the way I like to remember it, because the frame punch board is going to be facing you, right? So treat it like it's facing you. So the measurement that is sideways should always stay the same so that your frame can line up. And the measurement towards the bottom facing you is the one that can change around depending on the size frame that you want to go for. And once again, this middle part I can use as an embellishment for card making. And same for these. When you finish punching and everything, you will be left with these. So you can easily use these as an embellishment in your card and glue these. These would be perfect as, like, you know, cute edges or something. If you want to make the edges really cute, for example, something like this. So that's pretty much what I use it for. But You can cut any size paper you like. I even have a smaller one here that I did. You can cut any size paper you like. You can cut it however you like. And I highly recommend that you guys experiment with it and try different measurements, because I haven't tried all the measurements, but there are many kind of frames that you can create in many different thicknesses. So I highly encourage you to try this product and, I don't know, make some cool frames. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you guys. I will be releasing more tutorial videos soon. I'm really excited because I have a lot of ideas for you guys that I've been wanting to share for so long. And if you have any questions, comment down below so I can answer them to the best of my ability. And I want to know, if you already own one of these, what do you do with yours? I know many people like to make photos with them, but I use them to make shakers. Like I said, this frame right here is going to be for my October shaker here. So I'm really excited to show you guys this video, and I thought it would be great to separate it so you guys can reference this when you need help with the big tutorial that I got coming out. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for my next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Bye, guys.